TIG welding process. TIG stands for Tungsten Inert Gas Welding. The American Welding Society calls this process Gas Tungsten Arc Welding or GTAW. TIG welding uses a tungsten electrode which has an extremely high melting point. When we do TIG welding, the electrode gets hot but it doesn't melt. Hence, it is a non-consumable electrode. Thus, it does not melt and become part of the weld. But that doesn't mean it lasts forever. You see, in a lot of other welding processes, the electrode melts and becomes filler metal. Those are consumable electrode processes. In TIG welding, electrode is held in a torch. It slips into a collet. The collet tightens up against the collet body. We can adjust the link to the electrode sticks out of the holder by loosening up the end cap. When we tighten the end cap, the collet clamps down on the electrode. TIG works by melting the base metal to join two pieces. The heat is generated by an electric arc that forms between the base metal and the tungsten electrode. We can control the amount of heat with a foot pedal or with a thumb wheel on the torch. For most metals, the current is direct current or DC. One wire is always negative and the other is always positive. In DC TIG welding, the electrode is usually negative and the workpiece is positive. The term DCEN is used for this, indicating that the current is DC and the electrode is negative. This is also called straight polarity. The DCEN is a more descriptive term. DCEN puts most of the heat on the workpiece and it is the most common setup. While welding aluminum alloy, we use AC current. In AC, the positive and negative voltages switch back and forth between the electrode and the workpiece, and it puts more heat on the electrode, but it has a cleaning effect on the workpiece. We can see that aluminum forms oxide and floats to the top of the work pool and prevents a good weld. AC current helps control these oxides. In an electric circuit, current flows in a loop. In TIG welding, current has to flow in a complete circle from the machine to the torch, end of the work, and back to the machine. A work lead is clamped to the work to complete the circuit from the workpiece back to the machine. If we want to add filler metal to a TIG weld, then we can use the filler rod, which is just a rod of metal with a specific alloy compatible with the base metal and has the strength. In TIG welding, the molten metal is protected by a shielding gas. Usually, this gas is argon, helium, or other gases which stops the molten metal from reacting with oxygen or water vapor in the atmosphere. This shielding gas is stored in high-pressure cylinders. The pressure is reduced to a usable level by a device called a regulator. The shielding gas flows through the hose and comes out right at the point of the weld. Thus, we learned that TIG welding is an electric arc welding process which uses a non-consumable tungsten electrode, and the filler metal is added separately in the form of filler rod. The shielding gas comes from a high-pressure cylinder to protect the molten metal, and in this way we get the weldment. Thank you.